Alright, we are live with Banjo Tooie. So, today I'm going to be playing one of my favorite N64 games of all time. I will be playing it on the Xbox One's Rare Replay release. And we're just going to get started from the very beginning. Eventually, I'm going to be pretty much perfecting this game, trying to get everything in it. But for now, I'm just going to casually run through it and see what I can accomplish. So feel free to stick around if you got questions about the game, or if this is the first time checking it out. I highly recommend sticking around. This is a very entertaining game, and it's probably one of the most well received games of the year 2000. So, for anybody not familiar with the title, Banjo-Tooie is the sequel to the very popular 1998 release Banjo-Kazooie. It is probably my most favorite, if not maybe second, title that I used to play a lot on the Nintendo 64. It was definitely up there with, I'm actually going to go pick Mumbo. Is definitely up there with Donkey Kong 64, and I'm gonna skip through the cutscenes because I've seen these many times. And this is Bottles from the first game. Unfortunately, he is not with us no more. But we have a new character that will teach us moves, and he should be introduced to us shortly here. So one of the nice things about this game is that our moves actually get kept transferred over from Banjo-Kazooie. So everything that we've worked hard to earn in that game, we get to keep. And then we're just going to add on extra moves on top of there. So who you see at the bottom left right now talking, that is the person who's going to be giving us new moves in this game, and he will be our guardian angel at pretty much learning what's essential to complete the game. Hey, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. If you got any questions, feel free to drop something in the chat. Very much enjoyed talking, and I will gladly answer any kind of questions you may have. Otherwise, if you're just here to watch, feel free to stick around. So as you can see, Cheeto pretty much in the game. He is a giant spellbook lost by Gruntilda, and we can earn cheat code pages throughout the game that will give us enhanced abilities further on, but nothing too spectacular. So there's not too much to get right away in Spiral Mountain. There's a couple little things, as you can see. There's a Kazooie rock at the bottom of that lake that I will be able to break, but I will need to earn a move from the lieutenant first. And then if I come up here, right here, you can see this hole is in a very convenient shape. This is where Gruntilda ended up falling at the end of Banjo-Kazooie, which is the first game. And then the cutscene, which I skipped, pretty much showed you that Klungo was the one to rescue her and get her out of there, which is why she is the main antagonist to this game once again. So I'm just gonna go right ahead for now. We're gonna have to come back to this area anyways, so don't have to search through it too deeply. And we're just gonna go ahead and hop in and go fight Klungo. And you're gonna see these digger tracks pretty much throughout the entire game when we're in the overworld, and we're gonna be pretty much tracking them to see where they eventually end up, and you're just gonna see them around, kind of just the path that they took with their digger. Alright. can't really skip this text as far as I know, but if you hold A, you can at least accelerate it so it does not take so long. So this boss fight, not that I'd consider it a boss fight, very, very simple. We're going to be fighting Klungo, I believe, 3 times. I know a minimum of 2 throughout the game, and it's an easy first achievement. But he's always fairly easy. Just throughout the end, he kind of tracks you with his potion throws, so that's just one thing to watch out for. But as long as you know that, I mean, he's always going to be easy, and he's got 2 or 3 different potions that he cycles through based on the color, and that kind of tells you what kind of fight it's going to be, and that's just RNG based on which ones you get in what order. So that is the way we came from, and this is the way we are going to, deeper into the hole. And I believe this takes us to the Banjo village. Yes. So here are the Banjos do make a return from Banjo Kazooie. I believe there are more colors of Banjos now, and they're actually split up into households. So it's a little bit different how it works. Instead of having 5 per level and you earning a Jiggy for finding all 5, there's each level has a different amount, and there's different colors of them that are pretty much random. And once you collect all of the ones for a specific family, you'll get a Banjo for completing that one particular family. And the families are all different sizes. So, like for instance, I believe the white family only has 1. Like some other families have like 4 or 5 at least. So this is King Jingling, who's not part of the first game, but for some reason in this game you're still collecting Jiggies for pretty much completely different purposes. Well, for the same purpose, but they work slightly differently. So instead of putting the Jiggies directly on the puzzles and having that number subtracted from your total amount, you simply need a certain amount of Jiggies to be able to complete a puzzle. And then something that not a lot of people know is at the end of Banjo Kazooie, there's actually a place that you can go. You could go inside Banjo's house once you've beaten the game, and if you look up at his portrait, you can actually complete these live puzzles, which are pretty much pictures, but they're videos that you complete. And that pretty much introduced the concept for the puzzles in this game, which you actually have to solve, where in Banjo Kazooie you just needed to have the right amount of puzzle pieces. So makes it a little bit more challenging in this game, but still nothing bad. Just makes it a little bit more involved. Gonna go ahead and skip any cutscenes that I can for the most part. And this is Bottle's house, and I don't believe his kids know what have happened to Bottles yet. Yep, she seems pretty seems in a pretty good mood, so. Oh man. Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry, I made a silly mistake. Earlier when I said it's in Bottle's house, the Banjo Kazooie live puzzles, it's actually in Banjo's house. I forgot that's the one on Spiral Mountain. Make silly mistakes like that all the time. But, you know, happens. Alright. Finally got through that interaction. Okay, so coming up here, we are going to be Jiggy Wiggy is the guy that unlocks some new worlds for us. He is inside the Jiggy Temple that you see in front of us. And we are allowed in whenever we have the correct amount of Jiggies. Now, one of the neat features in this game is you unlock these, which are be used for teleporting. I believe I selected this guy. Yeah, and then unlike the first game, Banjo Kazooie, you could actually teleport from any station to any other station, so you don't actually have to walk the entire way until you find the correct one, because in Banjo Kazooie, the first game, they all matched up 1-to-1, so they would simply connect to one other place, and then they wouldn't do anything else. So a lot of times they weren't that useful. So coming up here, we got another. This game is very, very cutscene happy. And these are the live puzzles that I was talking about. And more pieces break away from the puzzle as you go through. Yes, I know what to do. One of the things that makes this kind of puzzle much easier than the ones at the end of Banjo Kazooie is the pieces don't actually have to rotate. In some of the puzzles in Banjo Kazooie, you actually had to rotate the pieces because they were not facing the correct direction, and it would make it significantly harder, especially when you did not have that much time. And that's kind of his line. The Great One will show you the way. That's what he likes to do. And unfortunately, every time we unlock a world, it's going to be a long cutscene. The door open. And I'll be able to come back once I have 4 Jiggies. Yep. I know what a sign is. Thank you, though. So if you go back there's actually a giant egg that you can use later on in the game once you start finding some eggs. This is our first Jinjo, and this will introduce a cutscene back in the Jinjo village. Boo doo 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 doo. Very much enjoyed the soundtrack to this game. Big fan of it. If I remember correctly, there is a Banjo at the bottom. Yep. Oh. I'm actually gonna check if that's an option. In this game, they do not have inverted swimming for up and down. Settings. Flip y-axis. I believe that'll flip y-axis for everything, though. Which would make it very difficult while aiming. So I'm actually gonna go turn that back off. I'm just gonna have to learn to swim. Alright, now let's head up here. And that is actually something I'll be able to use once I learn the edge grab. Back there is a honeycomb piece we'll be able to collect once we meet Mumbo Jumbo once again. So that actually brings me to another point. In the first game, Mumbo was not in every level. He was, I believe, in about half the levels. And he would turn you into different creatures that would help you out to obtain certain jiggies. In this game, they've kind of mixed it up a little bit. So Mumbo, actually, when you go up to Mumbo, you take control of him instead of being turned into a creature, and then he can go to those Mumbo pads and actually perform spells that will do something. Sometimes for a limited amount of time, sometimes permanently. So that's one of the features. And then they also introduced a second shaman. I don't remember her name, though. But I know she has a wigwam, and she's also found in every level. And then she is the one responsible for turning you into animals and miscellaneous things that you'll see depending how much I upload of this game. So now to obtain moves, there's actually notes currencies. They don't use notes to unlock doors anymore. Notes are now used to unlock moves. So I should have probably read that, but I think I might be able to figure out what that was about. Alright, so looks like I might just have to figure out what that was. But it shouldn't be too bad. We gotta collect notes, and then there'll be, I think, one, maybe two more moves that I learned in this world. So we're gonna come up here, we're gonna come meet Mumbo. Now I've found another warp pad. So since they've made the worlds significantly larger in this game, they've introduced warp pads where you could use to teleport from within the world to other places. And these are globos. So this is the currency that you use to be able to hire Mumbo or the lady whose name is slipping my mind. And they cost one globo per level. So each level typically has two. I believe sometimes they might have a couple more, but typically they restrict it to two, and I believe that you need to have the globo from that level so that you can't collect the globo and then take it up to the second world to use Mumbo there. So now Mumbo is the hero. Hey! I believe there's an achievement for killing 20 people with his wand. It is a little bit time consuming, but I'm very much an achievement hunter, so I will probably throw that into the stream as well. So we'll just get started with this guy. And that is also a new feature that they added. Just gives me an option to show it. That is exclamation block. And pretty much what it does is it lets you either fill up your health or it can actually take away some health from you. But it's pretty convenient when you have very low health because they're not very difficult to time, and you could use it to fill up your health all the way back up, which used to be very inconvenient in the first game. So, here we'll be able to do the first Ekum Bokum spell. Alright, it's real catchy song. I always get into it. So he has actually given us the ability to control the giant Goliath for, I believe, 60 seconds? Or 75 seconds. How generous. I believe it's X, yes. And then, just using some of my memory, I know that he's able to walk through this stuff. And come collect this Jiggy. Yay. And then if we walk over here with this guy, he will also be able to kick out this door. And you can kick these guys out too. Unfortunately, they stay dead for very long. I believe once you leave the area, they do come back. I think I could hit start? No. There's a button that I could hit or hold to time him out early. But I really don't remember what that button is, so guess we'll just wait. Alright, and then I believe he could also kick out the other door up there, so I'm just going to reactivate him real quick just to kick a hole into that door. And then we will be pretty much done with the Golden Goliath. Kick this guy out of our way while we're here. Okay, so this is how we terminate this early. It's just by going and standing on his plate. So let me go take care of this guy once again. So one of my favorite things about this game, in contrast to Banjo-Kazooie, is the amount of level interaction that the levels have with each other. The first game was very sequential. You could go through almost all of the levels completely independently of each other and just go one after the other. The only exception was Freeze Easy Peaks and the level in the desert, Gobi's Valley, I believe it was called. There was each of those levels had a move that you needed to obtain from the other level to be able to collect all the Jiggies. But other than that one exception, the entire game could be beat in a very linear manner. And that was interesting, but it also meant that once you had gone through a level, you were just kind of done with it. In this game, probably apart from the first level, I think the first level you could complete all the way, for the most part, without learning anything else. But pretty much every other level other than that will require things or interaction with other levels to be able to complete them. So a lot of times there's switches in other worlds that you need to hit, there's moves that you need to learn, or there's people you need to interact with. It's very interconnected. And the and the biggest place in which you see that happening is with the train station in the mine, because that train station actually goes through 3 to maybe even 4 different worlds, and it requires a lot of interaction in each of those worlds. If I remember right, back here somewhere. Thought there was a treble clef. Yes. And I believe I really need to start paying attention to the moves that he's teaching me while he's teaching them to me, because that'd probably be useful. But I believe he taught me to grab. Maybe not. Okay, maybe he didn't teach me to grab. Nonetheless, I'm going to start paying more attention to moves that he's teaching me, just because I know what the moves are. But since I'm used to playing this on N64, obviously, I'm not familiar with what button they're configured to on the Xbox One. Am I able to aim? Okay, so that's one of the things I've learned, is how to do first-person aiming. And that will be definitely used fairly heavily, especially once we get the clockwork eggs. So this guy's just gonna pretty much talk about all the flies that he wants to get rid of, and then once we are able to help, he will allow us to obtain a Jiggy. So the aiming for this game is pretty bad. You pretty much scope in and can't move while you're scoped in, apart from the first person sessions, and then aiming this is with the left stick, so it feels very unnatural. It's also very twitchy, as you can see. The reticle also always comes back to the center of the screen, but you can actually shoot off-centered with the screen not moving. So it's definitely the kind of thing that makes me very happy that first-person shooters didn't go this route. Otherwise, they probably would not have caught on how they did. And making crop jokes because he couldn't even believe it. And maybe questionable where that Jiggy comes from, but I'm not gonna be the one to ask questions. And for this, it appears I need the ledge grab, so I'm just gonna try out all the buttons, make sure I haven't accidentally. Okay, so looks like I did not need the ledge grab, but it also seems like I've not learned it yet. That was actually a glitch, being able to get up there, that I learned from watching speedruns of this game. I've always wanted to get in speedrunning, but I don't think that I have the time devotion required for it. Although it's definitely something that I'd always be interested in trying. Back here, not sure if we could complete this area quite yet, but I'm gonna go give it a shot. And having played Banjo-Kazooie quite a bit lately, it's not easy swimming with up being up. I'm used to up being down, kind of like flying a jet fighter. I believe we need the drill attack for that, to destroy that rock, which we do not have. So I'm gonna have to come back to this area as well. So this is another case where we get to experience that very fun first-person aiming in this game. But as long as it's not against moving targets, it isn't that bad. But when it's against moving targets and you have limited amount of ammunition, that's when it starts getting more tedious. But that kind of brings up another point. And of course, this game always forces me to compare it to Banjo-Kazooie because it's its successor in all ways. But it really surprised me at how much they changed. And obviously the main mechanics of the games and a lot of the moves and stuff like that have stayed the same. But the biggest thing that has changed with this game is the functions of the items and the ways you obtain them. And one of the bigger ones is collecting eggs and gathering feathers and stuff like that. Because in the first game, it was very difficult to collect. Oh, okay. It was very difficult to collect large amounts of feathers and everything. Okay, I'm not gonna try that anymore. Mainly based on the fact that every time you'd go to collect something, it'd only give you one. Whilst in this game, they're not as frequent. They do give you quite a lot more for finding a pile, which is nice. I'm actually just gonna take the time to revisit these two things just to figure out what they taught me. Use Kazooie as a handheld first-person view. Okay. So that's to teach me what I need for this game up here. So I guess since we're already around, we may as well get this guy figured out. So this is the first-person aiming, and this is quite messy. I mean, at least you move with the left stick and you aim with the right stick. So they had the right idea, but everything feels sort of disconnected. So I get a time limit here, and I have to try to find all of these totems. I don't remember exactly how many there are, but I know that if I follow a reasonable path, it will actually be much more convenient. And okay, so these are 3 egg kills. Going up here now. No, there's a couple in here. Don't know how frequent these are. If I remember right, there's something. Oh, well, that's embarrassing. If I remember correctly, there's something like 30 of these. Hold up, I'm just gonna plug in my controller. I'll be back in a second. I usually make it a rule for myself to plug in my controller before I start streaming, but I guess that's what happens when you don't follow your own rules. I believe there's a secret door there, but if there is, I don't remember how to open it, so I guess we'll just keep on going through. Ow. Okay, I guess that was a poor approach. And one of the nice things, it looks like right now I don't have a time limit. I believe at some point you get a time limit in here. Otherwise I know... Oh my god, I'm just really messing up. If this looks easy, then it's most likely because you haven't played the game, because it feels very unnatural to control this. Okay. I'm just gonna go collect those now because I know that they're gonna be annoying whenever I go for them. Ow. No, I should probably try to get some health back. There you go. Oh. Okay. So, looks like that was 10. I believe there's 30 in all. And that all of them give you a prize, but only for collecting all 30 you get a jiggy. But I guess we'll find out pretty shortly here. So I'm gonna do my best to clear out the room so I do not have to come back to them. And I think eventually we could come back in here once we've unlocked different types of eggs. To be able to collect those. That's slightly sacred chamber. I'm not sure if I want to go in there yet, because I don't think I've cleared out every room that I can. I think there's still a couple more rooms. If I remember correctly, this game does actually have a multiplayer to it. I think you could play one-on-one deathmatch in this place. Got some golden eggs, which gives me machine gun, and it doesn't actually take up any ammo. But the only reason I'm not shooting uncontrollably is because the noise of Tooie constantly chirping, I guess, gets quite annoying. And you need explosive eggs to be able to get rid of him. And I keep going down there. Okay, so I guess we will go in the secret chamber, and see what's in there, if I could go the right way. So it looks like this is another place that will connect back up eventually, but again, no idea how to open that up. This way to the secret chamber. Not very secret because he kind of blatantly told me about it, but I think it's... Oh god. Get some health back. Believe it's up here, maybe? No, it's actually not. It was back in that room. I know it. Somewhere. Alright, am I just crazy? He'd give me access to one of his holy chambers. Okay, well I guess I am going crazy because I thought that was the correct way to go. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay. The slightly secret chamber. Alright, I'll take it. I think eventually you come back and collect more or something. Because I think I've done pretty reasonable sweep of the area. And I think to collect more I need like bomb bags. And a little bit more. To open up those kinds of doors and stuff. So I guess for now we're just going to be looking for the exit. And coming back to it. Ow. Ow. Where might this exit be? I believe it could be... I think this is one of the first rooms that I entered. Or this is the one I was just in. And it does appear like it's the one I was just in. This place is a complete labyrinth, and I have zero memory of it. So I'm I apologize if this is painful to watch. Just trust me, it's painful for me to play. These first-person areas are definitely my least favorite areas of the entire game, which is why I kind of visited this one early to start getting it out of the way. But it's kind of looking like I'm gonna have to come back in here, so I'm kind of upset that I came in here in the first place. And I keep coming back to the same areas, and I'm as lost as ever. So, personally, this is frustrating. And that's the secret chamber again. And that's just to go back up to the other big area. Okay. So I believe I have to keep going upwards. So as long as I keep going upwards, I'm making decent progress. If I remember right, there should be another door somewhere here. That just leads down. But I think that's okay. So then, I think back in this corner, maybe not that corner, back in one of the corners somewhere, there is a way out. This is the way I came. Let's go this way. Not that way. This way I open up eventually. I apologize. This is painful. But I am doing my best to try to get out of this place. I do not want to be in here any longer. That's just going to lead me back up there. That doesn't do anything for me. Oh my god. I couldn't find the secret chamber, and now I can't find not the secret chamber. Okay, I didn't miss anything in here. I can't just, like, warp out. Ugh, this is painful. This is, this is why I don't like these. Okay, then it really leads me to believe, because I know one of the first areas that we found was this one. So it really does lead me to believe that this is connected to the beginning. But it just isn't. It just quite simply isn't. It's just a dead end in every space, except for this, which will eventually connect to another one of the rooms. So it leads me to believe that there might be multiples of these rooms. And then I might be going in a complete circle. And I'm losing my mind. Now at this point, if I would have had any viewers, they'd have been all gone. And I would understand, because I wouldn't want to watch this either. I'm the one playing, so I gotta finish. Oh my god. This is literally driving me insane. And it's definitely not a map or anything. So that'd be too convenient. Can I just kill everyone? Will that make me happier? A little bit, but it still doesn't get me out of here. Okay, so that's a dead end. That leads me back there. So we're here. Let's just keep making decisions that way. So the big red room is that way. This leads me to the red room, which is there. So then if I want to go the opposite direction, which would be... this leads me back there. So maybe all the way this way. This is where I just was. What is this black magic? That's red room. It's not like a door over here or anything. Nope, that's where the honeycombs were. I believe I think you're witnessing somebody actually losing their mind. This is literally impossible. This is like a labyrinth and there's only like 5 rooms. How could it be? Oh my god! Tell me! Worst part is when I was looking for the secret chamber, I found the exit like twice. Kill that guy again, just to make me feel better. What? It was that simple? Oh, I missed one. I'm highly disappointed in myself. Interesting. Okay, well, I already got one of your prizes. I'll come back eventually, once I have the mental capacity to go through that again. Alright, if you're still here, you win all the brownie points, because that was painful. It actually very much made me want to just save and quit immediately, but I wanted to hang in tight, keep the stream going. Sploosh. So now, let's go in here, because I know there's a couple more things we could do. We could learn ledge grab, which is what I really want, because you need that to be able to progress to the next world. And I'll be able to transform to the rock guy. Let's interact. On the edges you can hold. Move with the greatest ease. Press X to attack when you please. Yay. That's like the most useful move in the entire game. is going to get used so much. Up. Yeah, I didn't think there was anything there. There was what looked like a ledge, so I had to try. Really? Her name is Wumba? Okay, well, I guess that's why I didn't remember it, because it's so close to Mumbo. Humbo Wumba. Humbo Wumba and Mumbo Jumbo. Man. Whoever had the time to come up with these names were definitely underpaid. Jump in Wumba pool. I now rock monster. Stony. I am Stone Monster. Fear me. E-O. I guess I could use a teleport pad. Biggest things I need Stone Monster for is being able to read the password right now in the prison compound. I need to hear the password from this guy. Well, hello, sir. Sun before the moon and a star. Moon, sun. So let's just sun, moon, star, moon. Okay. Do 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 do. Yay. Ah, get away. Prison compound. Sun. Oh, okay. I guess you just stand. Sun. Moon. Star. Moon. Sun. Door. This guy still needs to get freed, though. Unfortunately, I do not have the drill pack yet. I believe I learned that in the second world, if I remember it correctly. Though, I think I can go up here now. Feathers. Oop. Yeah, I made it. More boots. Bing, 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 ding, 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 ding. So I'm probably going to be picking up one more Jiggy here, and that will most likely be it for this world, because I know that I have to come back for a couple of them. I have to come back for the ones that require the drill peck, and I have to come back, or I will have the ability to come back at least, for the one, the Kickball Coliseum. So if I remember correctly, well, first I can crawl across here and pick up the cheat page. I believe I just need to walk really, really slowly. I think that's what that sign over there is telling me. I thought I was walking slowly. This is a speedrunner's paradise. No, personally, I would not be sneaking up on a snake this big. But, you know, it's whatever. Run away! Okay. And I believe that's what the sign over there tells me. So, that will be it for this world. I have to go the long way around. Wee. Let's go to the exit and unlock the next world. Oh, okay. Well, I forgot to go back in there with the Stony, but I'll get to that. Thank you for having the door ready for me. What a polite guy. I will perform thy puzzle. Terrible. Yay. Yay. Good job. So for anybody who has played this game with an emulator, you will know some of the difficulties with this puzzle. At least the emulated version that I had playing this was very complicated because the puzzle was pretty much corrupted, so the video wouldn't really play. So you kind of had to guess where the pieces went based on their shape, not on what they had on them. But that's one of the nice things about playing this game on Rare Replay. There's none of the glitches, none of the mishaps or anything like that. It runs really smooth, boots really fast, and it's really nice to be able to play this with an Xbox One controller. It makes it super comfortable. And one of the nicer things is all of the text has been rewritten to tell you the correct buttons on the controller, whereas if you played it with an emulator and a controller, you kind of had to figure out what button it was mapped to for you personally. So that's one of the things with emulators. So I'm short. If I would have taken a little bit more time believe there's one extra Jiggy I could have gotten from there. I think I could have done the first phase of the kickball tournament and unlocked 2 worlds. If I were doing any kind of speed run, I obviously would have done that just to save on time. But I am not a speedrunner, do not claim to be one. Love to get into it, but for now, just laying back and enjoying the game. So this is the second world. It's going to be Glitter Gulch Mine. Pick up these notes right away. And right away, we are going to be learning another, or picking up another spot, which is nice. Do 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 do. Press B to view the Mighty One's wisdom. No, thank you. Although I will interact with this. Fire eggs. So, this first occurrence of different types of eggs that we have in this game. We have a lot of different eggs, while in the first game we only had one type of egg. And then we'll be able to use these to open up the door over there to get to the amusement park. Let's see if I can aim these from way back here, or if they'll even despawn. Nope, that's good. Fantastic, so we're done with that. Now if we come up here, don't know if it's too slanted. Nope. Click this music note, and then, if I remember right, there's a honeycomb. Yep. So this is actually where we go to turn in our honeycomb pieces. Oh, hello there. And then in this game, instead of always requiring 6 empty honeycomb pieces to get 1 honeycomb, it actually progresses upwards in terms of cost. I would like to trade. There's a lot of innuendo in this game. Yay! And my next one is going to cost 3, and I now only have 1 left. So, unlike the Jiggies, these actually do get expensed out, and you do actually lose them. And let's do it. Also, one of the differences with the I don't remember what they're called. Don't know if they're Talon Trout shoes, but you can actually run on water in this game, unlike what you were able to do in Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie, this would just deactivate your shoes. Yeehaw! Alright, so we've collected our 9th Jiggy. I think this is a reasonable place to leave it off. Been streaming for probably roughly an hour here. Unfortunately, probably 15 minutes of that was me trying to get out of that maze. But, we're not going to focus on that. Hope you guys had fun on the chat. Feel free to visit next time. Leave comments when this gets exported to YouTube. And we'll pick it up from there next time. Alright, you guys have a good one. Bye.